Hello everyone. Chepandi Cheputel Suledu Kadu. That means hope I'm audible to everyone. So we have to do Hindu analysis of 3rd July 2025 and we'll do it. Obviously. That's why we are here. Just give me a second. So Hindu analysis of 3rd July 2025. Good morning Shriparna, Rishi, Mamta, Abhay, Malini, Madhvi. Madhvi is number 1. Satyajit, Jivayan, brother of Vatsayan, Amal, Anandu and everyone. Let's start the discussion. One thing which I have seen a lot in videos as well as Hindu analysis also now, that sir, where is the PDF? Where is the PDF? So I keep on telling at the end, just give me a second. I keep on telling at the end that PDF is there on my Telegram channel and you can join that particular channel of mine and you will get the PDF. And this is the Telegram channel, sir and ma'am. So yes, I will upload this particular PDF by 12 noon today. Even before that, Fun Study with Shubh. If you have not joined it, you can join it. So hope all those queries related to where is PDF, oh my God, where is PDF is resolved. Let's start the discussion. So first article of the day means there are so many articles, but from exam perspective. So, first article of the day, BRICS will help create a multipolar world, stated by Modi sir. So, Modi sir is on a 5-nation visit, and we are very proud of it because it's an awesome feeling when a fellow Indian goes outside and creates impact, and he is getting one medal after the other. So, again, that is a matter to be, very, very happy about because sometimes people say don't win enough in Olympics. Modi sir is trying to rectify that. When he goes to different countries award him with different honors. And we are very proud of that fact. Now, apart from the pride fact, we have to talk about some other stuff related to this article. BRICS, now it has 10 countries. How will you remember the remaining 5 countries? Initial 5 countries are fine. Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. But what about the other countries? Hope I am audible and visible to everyone. Just give me a second. So yes, so let's talk about this whole thing. And yeah, so BRICS. 10 countries established in 2009. First conference happened in Yekaterinburg, Russia. Then in 2010, South Africa joined. So initially it was only BRIC. Later on it became BRICS. And then there are other things associated with this particular BRICS, a bank created by them. So there are so many things which we have to talk about. Before we talk about all these stuff, again, if I'm audible, visible, good morning, Anuj. You can post it in the comment section if there is any issue with the audio. You can also see it in the comment section. So Prime Minister Modi's first 5-nation visit overview. If we talk about 5 nations, where is he going? And here he will talk about some terms which we have to keep in mind. Global South. What is Global South? Later on we'll talk about some other stuff also. There are so many awesome articles in Hindu. So again, we'll go there. So here, Global South, he is going to Ghana. As you can see here, he is doing Jadoo Ki Jhappi. Modi sir loves to do that. And there is a song also. Oh my God. Today I am in a total haphazard mode. So Ghana is going to, then he is going to South America, 2 countries, Brazil and Argentina. Argentina is not covered in this article, but that doesn't matter. He is going to Argentina. And then he is also going to Namibia. And what is the 5th country he is going? We'll see where else he is going. He is going to one of the islands, Trinidad and Tobago, if I'm not wrong. So one of the Pacific islands or one of the islands between North and South America, part of Latin America. So we have to talk about a lot of things here. Yeah, Madhi, I am okay, so PM Narendra Modi sir is undertaking a 5-nation visit. We are very proud of it. Now, the term here, Global South. What is the basic meaning of the term Global South? So, Global South comprises countries, less developed countries, developing countries, which primarily of South America, Africa, Asia. So these countries which are developing, which are less developed, they are part of the so-called Global South. BRICS Summit is happening in Brazil and it happens in a rotating manner. So there is a very high probability that in 2026, the BRICS Summit will happen in India. So we'll talk about that. And then they're talking about cooperation, blah, blah, blah. You can read all these things. We are focusing on the most important matters of the day. Perfectly audible and visible, sir. Very good. Cool. So where are we? Bilateral engagement. He is going here, there, everywhere. And again, we are proud of this fact. Ghana is going and There also they are talking about vaccines and all those stuff. See, when we talk about Africa on a serious note, we have developed a lot of soft power. We have talked about Hindu analysis 2 days back, M.K. Narayanan sir article, that today the world is all about hard power rather than soft power. But again, soft power do matter, and we have a lot of soft power involved in South African countries, including Ghana, and that's why our honorable sir will get a honor here or medal here. Okay, so cooperation in investment, energy, health capacity building, you can read all these things. We will focus on the important areas. Vaccine collaboration. So when you will read about India-South Africa cooperation, which is also creating issues with America per se, there is one particular keyword which you will hear a lot: generic medicine. Generic medicine, that will come under WTO TRIPS, trade related aspects of intellectual property rights. So what is the basic rationale of generic medicine? That you have raw materials of a particular drug or medicine, that is known as API, active pharmaceutical ingredients. Let's say Novartis make a particular drug, then India and the other companies of India, indigenous companies, they will make a cheaper version of it because they will know the API, active pharmaceutical ingredient, because they are saying that we cannot buy that expensive, common people cannot buy that expensive drug of Novartis, so we have to make a generic version of it. For that, we'll know the API from Novartis and make it. US is like, dude, Novartis is investing so much money in creating those APIs, making a permutation and combination of those APIs, and you are taking it just like that. We are not happy with it. India says that we are TRIPS compliant, trade related aspects of intellectual property right compliant. And US has another issue which involves Ghana and other African countries, that India does not make generic medicines only for themselves. They also transfer it to African countries. Oh my God. So they are also killing one market of ours. In that regard, you have to see this particular vaccine production fact. Good morning, Shashmita. Shashmita is from Odisha, for people who don't know that. So Modi sir will be awarded Ghana's highest civilian honor, Companion of the Order of Star of Ghana. Oh my God. So again, we are very proud of this fact. He is going to Trinidad and Tobago. So people there, they eat a lot of tobacco. No, that's just a stupid joke. So hosted by Prime Minister Kamla Prasad. Again, when you read about Indian diaspora, which is there in your GS mains paper too, we talk about 3 terms. You may have heard about these particular terms a lot from me earlier also. You know, political stability, economic stability, cultural stability. We talk about how West Asian diaspora, they give us economic stability because from West Asia, lots of remittances come to India. Then the North American diaspora, US and Canadian diaspora, they give us political stability. They help us in, keeping India-US relationship on a positive note, so to say. Even India-Canada relationship, which is actually going on a downhill right now, but things will change for the better. Fingers crossed. Similarly, this Trinidad and Tobago, Fiji, Suriname, Mauritius, all these island countries where people have went almost 200 years back for plantation agriculture. Britishers took them away. They have preserved our 200 years old culture, and these people of Trinidad, Tobago, Mauritius, Fiji, Suriname, they are giving us cultural stability. Oh my God. Good morning, Shaida. So again, hope you are understanding. That is what is written here, honor. Again, here also, our Modi sir will receive Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So you can see how much honor Modi sir is receiving here, there and everywhere. Then he will go to Brazil, attend the BRICS summit. Next year, BRICS summit will happen, hopefully in India. Yes. So visit to Namibia, again an African country, Namibia. Here also he will go. So 5-nation visit, and that will strengthen India's ties with the global south. Global south, developing or less developed countries of Africa, Latin America, especially South America and Asia. Now, let's talk about BRICS. So, BRICS acronym, this is basic, right? Created in 2009. Please remember the things related to BRICS. UPSC has already asked PYQs on it. First conference happened in Yekaterinburg, Russia in 2009. Initially, it was only BRIC. South Africa joined in 2010, became BRICS. Now, 5 countries joined in 2024, it has become BRICS Plus, so to say. Many people say BRICS Plus, many people say no, that is, we don't like it. How you will remember the 5 countries which has joined BRICS? The mnemonic is ISEU. In our time, as we keep on saying, there is an actor, Allu Arjun, he used to say, I love you, na Piriya Dipoina. So there was a song in Arya 2, I guess. So I love you, you won't say, you will say ISEU. So ISEU means, I is, if I'm not wrong, Iran, I guess. S is Saudi Arabia. E is Egypt. Other E is Ethiopia. And the last U is UAE. So all these are 5 countries which has joined BRICS later. ISEU, not I love you. ISEU. We'll go to ISEU in some. Sir is always in good mood. I'm a goody boy. So where are we? So yes, key features. These are the key features of BRICS 2009 originally. BRIC first summit, Yekaterinburg, Russia. UPSC has already asked PYQ. We will solve that PYQ later. Informal group, not a military or political alliance. Focus area, blah, blah, blah. You can read this thing. Held annually, presidency rotates among members. Latest summit, Brazil. Next host, India. What, like Russia. Oh my God, it's not India. I take my words back. It is actually likely to be Russia. It can be India also, likely to be Russia. Let's see how things pan out. And what about the other 5 countries which have joined? The mnemonic which we were discussing right now, ISEEU. Again, we'll talk about all these points. These are the countries, ISEEU. And now you have 10 members in BRICS. So do remember these countries, ISEEU. So yeah, that will help you. I love you. Everybody loves I love you. But this is not the time to do ilu. This is the time to focus on your studies. Oh my God. Okay. So new development bank, again UPSC has already asked questions on new development bank. There are other areas also which we have to focus now. What you have to do, this is a homework for you. New development bank created under BRICS framework, headquarter is in Shanghai. Now your homework is, we'll do that later on also. You have to read about Asian Development Bank. You have to read about, Asian, I think there is another bank, AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, something like that, AIIB, NDB, ADB, AIIB, all these banks, read at the same time, make a comparative analysis. It will help you a lot in so many different areas. Fine. So New Development Bank headquartered in Shanghai. Where is the headquarter of SCO? Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Anybody? Do you know it? I see you. Yes. I see you. Yes, exactly, Anuj. ISEU I'm doing. That's, see what Anuj has written. I see you. Good morning, Chandru. Good morning, Albi. So again, SCO, the headquarter is in. Please revise previous Hindu analysis, Saran ma'am. As Shashmita is saying, Beijing. I'm so clumsy. I always feel like I will break one thing or the other. So again, contingent reserved, arrangement, all these things are there. It represents 40% of world population because the initial BRICS countries, we were very proud of the fact that our fertility rate was very high. No, we were not. Accounts for 25% of global GDP. You can have a look at all these facts and figures. You will remember them once you are solving questions on them. Beijing, as stated by so many people. Shashmita, Shriparna, Amal, Rishi, Mamta, Anandu, Madhavi. These are the new members. ISEU, I was saying, I love you. Now Anuj has come as a savior for us, as a god for us. So I see you. This is how you can remember it. And I will give the credit to Anuj here. Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia, and UAE, I see you. I love you. So these are the countries. BRICS Plus. Don't call it that. Nobody calls it formally that. It's an informal naming. Now let's solve some questions so that we can remember things in a much better manner. Good morning, Albi. Love from Gurgaon. As you are giving love from Keralam. So BRICS summit held in Rio de Janeiro. Prime Minister Modi sir is expected to receive the highest civilian honor in both Ghana and Trinidad and Tobago during the visit. Modi sir. Argentina and Namibia are new members of BRICS. So Rishi, Anuj, Priya. Oh, Priya is here. From very long period, everybody was missing Priya. Mamta, Madhvi, Anandu, Amal, Shashmita, Shiparna, Malini, Chandru. So third is wrong. Argentina and Namibia is not there. As Anuj said, I see you. Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia and UAE. These countries are not there. Eliminate 3. You're getting the answer. That is A, 1 and 2 only. Oh my God. Next question. Sir, Operation Sakhi ended yesterday. Sakti. What is Operation Sakti? Oh, Shakti. Shakti or Shakti? Which Shakti? Cool, Amal. You are also a very good student. Very good. So with reference to BRICS rather, these are the statement. What is the correct answer? So Shri Parna has given the answer. Indonesia is not a member, right? I see you. I is not for Indonesia, that is for Iran. Just eliminate one, you are getting the answer. That is B, 2 and 3 only, as stated by Shri Parna, Mamta, Rishi, Shashmita, Madhvi and others. Now let's talk about the next article of the day, which is there on page number 12. Again, there are so many keywords. Science and tech article, which nobody loves to read about. An article which everybody has interest. And they keep on talking about. Even our father, grandfather, mother, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-ex-ex-ex-ex-girlfriend, boyfriend. They talk about it. Whether there is a link between COVID-19 vaccine and sudden death or not. Then again, there will be certain keywords which will come in this particular article. Or even if that doesn't come, if it comes in the discussion, we'll talk about it. Pandemic, epidemic. Then there are other words. And we'll solve some questions so that you can remember it. COVID-19, so in hush-hush tones, even now people talk about it, that because we have taken COVID vaccine, that's why the number of heart attacks has increased in recent years among young youth people. You know, Siddharth Shukla, there is one Kanta Laga girl, she has also died some time back. And so many things are happening in our... I don't know. So hope you are understanding where we are going with this. So different surveys happened. 2 survey was conducted. Union Health Ministry is saying this. It's not like me and you are doing hush-hush tones in gupshup and all those stuff. No. Union Health Ministry, they have cited 2 surveys to say that there is no link between COVID-19 vaccine and sudden deaths. Do you support this agreement? What is your view on this? Mamta, Rishi, Abhay, Priya, Amal, Malini, Madhvi, Shashmita, Rishi, Shriparna, Amal, Chandru, Malini and other people. So let's first of all talk about. And again, not only this, as yesterday when we were doing our Hindu analysis, we have clubbed 2 articles, INS Udayagiri, INS Tamal. Here also see, this is one article, then NIE, National Institute of Epidemiology, who is also involved, or which is also involved in one of the surveys. They are also saying that all these baseless claims that COVID-19 vaccine has led to sudden death will hamper vaccination. More and more people will go into the territory of Novak Djokovic. Who is Novak Djokovic? If you know it, post it in the comment section. He is a anti-vaxxer, means he does not believe in taking vaccines. He has not taken one for COVID. And then because of that, he was not allowed to play Australian Open and he was jailed in Australia. So he is saying that all these kind of things. So do you agree with Novak Djokovic assessment that, you know, we should not, again, so let's focus on this article. We can talk about Novak Djokovic later on. So no direct link with vaccination. Again, Union Health Ministry citing 2 surveys. They are saying that there is no direct connection. So take as many COVID vaccine as possible and ensure other people are also doing it. Oh my God. So conclusion based on multi-agency investigation, and again, these are again just an excuse for us to read about certain terms which are important from exam perspective. Without proper research, we shouldn't say it. There are 2 research, which is happening, Shiparna. You will see these 2 research and 2 surveys. So this is a conclusion said by or stated by Health Ministry based on multi-agency investigation and studied by, again you can see here, ICMR, National Center for Disease Control. They are saying that no significant change in death pattern. Do you agree with this particular assessment? You're like, no sir, I don't agree with this. In many unexplained deaths, genetic mutation. They are saying that again, post-COVID complications also happened. So it's not all about vaccine. Sometimes it's also about how your body react to it, and in more often than not, like maximum cases, it will react positively. There can always be exception. Side effects are anyway there. Even if you apply hair oil, they will say that there is a side effect. It doesn't mean you will not apply hair oil. It's a different matter altogether. I have not applied hair oil for the last 2 years. Okay, let's focus on the fact here, Saran ma'am. So causes of sudden cardiac deaths, why they are happening? Genetic predisposition. In your family, people have died of heart attack earlier, you will also die. Likely chance. I'm not saying you will die. There is a likely chance. Lifestyle choices. You are eating chips, cold drink, wine, liquor. What will happen? Pre-existing health condition. You already are suffering from some diseases. Post-COVID complication. So government is totally firm. 2 surveys they will cite, and AIMS is also involved in these survey. They are saying that no sir, no COVID vaccine has, like, COVID vaccine is not involved in all these deaths which is happening currently. Focus on young adult investigation, primarily focused on unexplained sudden deaths in the 18 to 45 age group. See, these 2 studies we are talking about. Indian Council of Medical Research, NIE, which has another article, we have seen 2 articles, National Institute of Epidemiology, they are involved. and they have done this case study. Then the second study is done by AIMS ICMR. So big entities, organizations are involved here, and they are covering a lot of cases, and both of them are saying that this COVID-19 vaccination does not increase the risk of sudden deaths. Second study is saying that heart attack, which is also known as myocardial infarction, is the leading cause of death. But this heart attack has nothing to do with COVID-19 vaccination. It is according to the immunity of the host. Very good, Elias. That's why I like LB. But sir, after 2020, death increased significantly due to cardiac arrest. I so want to make a separate video on this. Okay, let's focus. Combined findings, the two studies offered a... Now, what happens in this heart attack, myocardial infarction? You have to solve a lot of questions based on this article, so pay attention. So your heart muscles, they will die because of the stop of the blood flow, due to the stop of the blood flow. That is basic definition of heart attack. You should know this. Is also known as myocardial infraction. My phonetics friend, pardon me for the pronunciation part. Combined finding, comprehensive understanding, no relation between why people are dying of heart attack at young age and COVID vaccines. Rejection of false claim, and again they are saying that all these things will lead to vaccine hesitancy. Maybe in the future, if Abhay is having a kid, or LB or Sriparna, Anush, Shashmita and other people, they will think twice that, oh my god, we don't know what will be the reaction of these vaccines. So this kind of talks we should not have from now onwards. Let's take a pledge of 20 seconds that we will not spread these kind of thoughts that COVID vaccination is leading to all these deaths. That's just a lie. So what is COVID-19? Again, let's talk about some words. It was declared a pandemic. What is the basic difference between a pandemic and an epidemic? So, and who declares pandemic? So there are so many things. So, respiratory illness caused by a virus, SARS-CoV-2. Again, these are the things which are generally known, and that's why we are going fast. Severe acute respiratory syndrome. First identified in Wuhan, China. We are so proud of China for that. That's just a sarcasm. Quickly became a global pandemic. Now the question arises, these are the keywords which you have to focus on. I guess lifestyle change is the main cause. Suddenly lifestyle change has happened. So many people have started dying suddenly, Sashmita. Something else is going on. Conspiracy theory, oh my god. So what is the difference between pandemic and epidemic? There was an Ebola outbreak which happened in West Africa. That was an epidemic. This whole COVID-19, this is a pandemic. So tell me one thing, like any pandemic, first of all, it has to become an epidemic before becoming a pandemic. Hope you are understanding my question. So there are certain keywords which we have to understand. These things are generally known to people, but many times they don't research much. Pandemic and epidemic, I am saying that one prerequisite for pandemic is it has to become an epidemic first. Only then it can be declared a pandemic, usually by WHO. So do you agree with this particular assessment or not? Declared a pandemic by WHO, transmission through respiratory droplets, aerosol and contaminated surfaces. Even some time back, I faced, like, there were certain days where I was not willing to rise up from my bed and all those stuff. I felt like, oh my god, again COVID. And I started reading newspaper and I realized that yes, COVID is again spreading. I hate COVID. Okay. Now, first of all, focus on these keywords. These keywords are important from exam perspective. Doesn't matter whether you hate something or not. Endemic basically restricted to a regional area, and pandemic spread through whole world. Exactly as Bishwas ma'am said, epidemic and pandemic, you can see here. Sudden increase in case in a specific area as stated by Bishwas ma'am. And pandemic, global outbreak. So this is a basic rationale that anything which will become means if it has to become a pandemic, first of all, it has to become an epidemic. You cannot start reading novel without reading ABCD, right? English novel we are talking about. So it is localized, limited to a region, and it becomes widespread. Dengue outbreak in Kerala, Ebola in West Africa. UPSC has already asked a question on this Ebola in West Africa. So you have to solve that particular PYQ. And COVID-19, Spanish flu, H1N1, all these are pandemic. Frequency occurs more often, epidemic, but pandemic is a rare occurrence, as you can see here. Declaration of authority, national authority in the case of epidemic, pandemic is generally WHO, World Health Organization. Very good. Now let's solve some question. With reference to the terms epidemic and pandemic, consider the following statements. With epidemic comes pandemic. Yeah, so if something has to become a pandemic, it has to be an epidemic earlier. Okay, I'm not saying anything. First of all, you have to solve this question. So Abhay, Shashmita, Madhvi, Amal, Priya, Shiparna, Anuj, Anandu, Rishi, Malini, Shahida. So epidemic is always more widespread. No, pandemic is more widespread than epidemic. So first is wrong. If you eliminate first, you are left with B and C. A pandemic is declared usually, yes. All pandemics begin as epidemics. That's what we were discussing. So the answer is B, 2 and 3 only, as stated by all of you people. Very good. Now let's solve one question related to the previous BRICS thing. We'll solve PYQ also on BRICS. Consider the following statement about Indonesia and BRICS. people will be like, sir, why is Indonesia coming again and again? Because there was a time. Okay, I will not tell you stuff, otherwise the answer will be revealed. You solve first of all. Try to solve this question. Consider the following statement about Indonesia and BRICS. Indonesia is a G20 member, largest economy in Southeast Asia. Indonesia has formally applied to join BRICS and was admitted in 24. Indonesia maintains a non-aligned foreign policy approach. No answer. Oh my God. Look at the chat section. So let's focus. As we have discussed earlier, BRICS has now moved from 5 to 10 countries, and as stated by, I think, Anuj, I see you. Not I love you. Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia and UAE. So Indonesia is not a member. It has not been admitted. It's not a member. Second, eliminate second. So you are left with A and B. Third, you have to check. Indonesia maintains a non-aligned policy. When you will read world history, post-independent India, then you will read about something known as NAM, non-aligned movement. Means Nehruji was one of the founding members of NAM. India was one of the founding countries, and Indonesia was also there. It was a founding country of non-aligned movement, but then it betrayed us. During one of the Indo-Pakistan war, Indonesia sided with Pakistan, and our heart was broken. We were crying from inside that Indonesia betrayed us. But yes, all in all, Indonesia maintains a non-aligned foreign policy approach. That is totally correct. The answer is B, 1 and 3 only. B. Oh my God. Exactly, Rishi. Let's talk about the next article of the day, page number 8. Are gig workers part of India's labor data? So now there is something going on. Again, a very technical article. We have to understand there are certain terms here. Periodic Labor Force Survey. It is, it's a report which is published by NSO, National Statistical Office, under MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So Government of India, they have started doing things for these gig workers. The workers who are doing mainly platform delivery, Swiggy, Zomato and all those stuff. Their government is doing stuff. Government has also included them under Code on Social Security. They want to provide some social security to these vulnerable people, these gig workers. We'll talk about gig workers. What do that mean? But the problem lies with PLFS. According to this article, they are saying that PLFS is not differentiating gig workers as such. They are categorizing them as self-employed. So that doesn't make sense. That is actually not cool. Gig workers are not self-employed. You have to categorize them in a proper manner so that they can get the social security which is assigned or which will be assigned to them under Code on Social Security. You will understand each and everything once we have done this article and once you solve multiple number of questions. Non-aligned movement, explain please, sir. Thank you, Priya ji. Priya, you people are becoming friends now. I'm so happy for you, Rishi. Now 1961 Belgrade First Minute. We'll talk about it in detail later on. That was not the basic rationale. Just to give you a brief overview. We'll have a discussion on that NAM, non-aligned movement, later on, Rishi. So let's focus on this article for the time being. So budget 2025 and recognition of gig workers. 2025 union budget steps to formally. Again, what we are trying to discuss here, PLFS, the issues, the limitation with PLFS because of which our gig workers are suffering. PLFS we have discussed under MOSPI, and NSO is responsible for publishing this report, first launched in 2017. So these are some things which you have to keep in mind, important from exam perspective. Okay. Priya ji. Nice, Rishi. So budget 2025 and recognition of gig workers. 2025 union budget took, again read this thing, it extended social protection schemes to them, and Code on Social Security 2020 first included gig workers. Now who are gig workers working outside the traditional employer-employee structure. These people, vulnerable people who are working in, let's say, Zomato, Swiggy and all those, they don't have a basic employer-employee structure. It's all based on demand and supply, right? Platform work, online work arrangements outside traditional jobs enabled via digital platforms. And mainly these gig workers, they are involved in these platform works. They have been covered for the first time under Code on Social Security. So government is very serious about providing them some form of social security, because demand and supply in these platform work, it's a very volatile market, so to say. But we don't have enough data. Even if government wants to provide them social security under Code on Social Security 2020, you need to have a proper data. Self-employed people, periodic labor force survey, they are keeping them under self-employed. There are so many other people who are under self-employed. How will government differentiate between gig workers and other categories of self-employed people? So there has to be a separate category of gig workers, people who are working on different platforms. That is what this article is saying. So, definition lacks clarity about the actual nature and types of gig work. Niti Aayog. Again, remember, in different exams, they have asked full form of Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is not National Institute for Transforming India. It is National Institution for Transforming India. It also publishes one particular report or index, which is known as CWMI Index, Composite Water Management Index. Remember these facts. So it is saying that India's gig workforce expected to hit 23.5 million. 1 million is 10 lakh. So 23.5 million is 230 lakhs. 2 crore 30 lakh. Oh my God. However, PLFS still classifies gig workers as self-employed, own account workers, casual labor. Bro, have a separate category of gig workers. What is this self-employed, own account workers and casual labor? It doesn't make any sense. It creates confusion. We don't have the exact numbers. This lacks, again, you can see here. Policy exclusion is happening of gig workers because we don't know. There is no proper classification as gig workers. They are under those three, sub-classifications: self-employed, own account workers, or casual labor. Uneven access, undermining of, again, you can read these things. So clause 141, you don't have to remember clause. Just remember Code on Social Security 2020. For the first time, government is thinking about these gig workers, and that has been enunciated in Code on Social Security. The problem lies with the fact that we don't have enough data because PLFS is not exclusively covering them. That is the basic premise of this whole article. National Social Security Board, blah, blah, blah. But without proper data from PLFS, implementation becomes flawed. So PLFS has to, realign itself when it comes to taking a number of all these gig workers or taking an account of all these gig workers. In response to a Rajya Sabha query, no PLFS update was made specifically for identifying gig workers, and PLFS has to do this at the earliest. Gig workers are technically included in PLFS but not explicitly defined. As we have seen, there are three subcategorization under which gig workers are kept. PLFS fails to capture. Again, you can read all these things. They're talking about the issues here. Existing classification like self-employed are misleading for gig workers. A delivery worker on platforms like Swiggy or Zomato, it reduced to a broad, inaccurate categories, three categories, so to say. Their specific working conditions, social security needs. Now, PLFS has to do a lot of stuff. If they have to categorize gig workers, then they have to do a lot of changes in their repository, if you want to call that data repository. And that's why maybe they're not doing it, but they have to do it. Gig worker is different from casual labor and all self-employed categories. Update PLFS classification code or introduce new survey modules to distinctly capture gig and platform work. That's what this explainer article of Hindu is saying. You will remember them more once you are solving some questions. That's why we solve questions, so that you can remember stuff in a much better manner. To something in the month of May. So we'll talk about IIP. Don't worry, we'll cover it. So what is the answer? Which of the following are features of gig and platform work in India? Task-based and algorithm-driven work, traditional employer-employee relationship, often involves multiple apps, platforms, mostly time-bound with fixed hours. Anuj, Shashmita, Shriparna, Amal, Madhvi. See, I have seen one thing. You know what? I have seen one particular trend that happened in one paid class as well. I asked a question. somebody gave a wrong answer, and then all people started copying them. And I got 10 wrong answer, 1 correct answer. Even the guy who was giving correct answer was like, oh my God, am I wrong here? So that happens a lot. So gig and platform work. Yes, it is a task-based and algorithm-driven work. So first is correct. If first is correct, eliminate B option. Traditional, it is not based on traditional employer-employee relationship. That's what we have discussed if you go back to the article. That it is not gig workers, it is not based on traditional employer-employee relationship. It's all based on demand and supply. Zomato, Swiggy. So second is wrong. If second is wrong, eliminate C option. You're left with A and D. Now you have to check for the fourth option. Mostly time bound. Is it time bound? Like Swiggy, Zomato, is it time bound? Do they have fixed hours? They will work for this and that? It's 24 hours. It's up to you when are you accepting the orders and when are you delivering the orders. So it's not time bound. You can work anytime, and it's not, if you see, okay, hope you understood. So the answer is A, 1 and 3. Who answered it? See what I was saying? So the answer is like Anuj, Shashmita, Shriparna, Amal, Madhavi, Rishi, Anandu, Malini, Vinu, Vin. Oh my God, Vin Chappu is back. My best friend Vin. I was missing him. Abhay, Rishi. So the answer is A. Many people, like somebody, Anuj started with D and many people answered D. Don't do that. Albi alias 24 hours. So the answer is A. Let's solve this MCQ 6 based on the previous article related to COVID-19. I can understand, Shashmita. So which of the following are part of India's COVID-19 response strategy? Arogya Setu, PM Cares Fund, Covaxin, Covishield, establishment of a national pandemic task force. Chepandis. So again, let's do option elimination. Arogya Setu app, that we know was there during, everybody is like, download Arogya Setu app. How will you not download Arogya Setu app? You have to. So first is correct, right? So ACD, maybe it happened so time, like, okay. So Madhvi has answered it. So you eliminate. PM Cares Fund, Honorable PM sir and others, they created the PM Cares Fund to show that you people care and you will donate. So second was also there. So eliminate C. You're left with A and D now. Covaxin, Covishield, obviously. Right? So third is also there. We have to check for the fourth. Establishment of National Pandemic Task Force. There is no such thing called National Pandemic Task Force. There is no such thing. This is just a lie. So fourth is wrong. Answer is A, 1, 2 and 3. Madhvi tried it. Shashmita tried it. It doesn't exist. This one, and everybody tried it. Shashmita, Shiparna, Albi. We have not talked about it. This came out of the blue. That happens in UPSC also. We talked about COVID. We talk about pandemic, epidemic, difference between them. All these things. What is heart attack? What happens in heart attack? And myocardial infarction. What is that? But this came out of the blue. So it is totally fine. Arogya Setu app, Chandru. See, Chandru, once upon a time, COVID happened, and you have to keep, like, Arogya Setu app was installed to tell you people, like, even I have forgotten what was actually there in Arogya Setu app. It used to tell you which are the areas most impacted by COVID, whether you, and it also keeps a track of the people who have taken COVID vaccine, how many doses you have taken, first dose, second dose, booster dose. It was so much more. Then Arogya Setu app also had your vaccination certificate, if I'm not wrong, with a photo of Modi sir on the side. Many people were like, why? Again, I'm telling you the gist. Hope you understood it. Let's solve this question. Please. Arogya Setu app was an app during COVID-19 time, which was asked by government to, like, you have to, like, Aadhaar was made mandatory at that time. Yeah, this is daily analysis class, Harshvardhan. So Aadhaar was made mandatory, right? Almost mandatory. Similarly, Arogya Setu app was also almost made mandatory for everyone during the COVID times. I don't know where were you people during COVID times, but it was mandatory because government was tracking people, how many were infected, how many got immunized, how many took vaccination, how many doses, where are different people, where is the chunk of people, like which area is more dense or more infected by COVID, and so to say. So that was the basic premise, Arogya Setu ka. If there is anyone affected within 500-meter region, Bishwas ma'am is on fire today. So the term myocardial infarction, often in the news during COVID-19 related sudden death studies, refers to. So today I did a survey on my Telegram channel. So as stated by you people, let me see the current status of that particular survey, because there is a talk which happens between us whether we should keep it within 1 hour or not. That helps in revision. There is a psychology also. If you see the video ending at, let's say, 59:50, and if you see a video ending at 1:00:08, you're like 1 hour 8 seconds, oh my god, I'm not watching it. But if it is 59:53, oh my god, less than 1 hour, I'm watching it. So it's also, that's why you see courses also priced at like 9,999, not 10,000, because it is 5 digit. No, 9,999, 999, 2,999. All these are psychology. 3,000, oh my god, 00, so many zeros. But 2,999, less than 3,000, oh my god, it's a win. So this is all psychology. So yes, myocardial infarction is a fancy word for heart attack, and heart attack happens because, we have discussed this, death of heart muscle due to blocked blood flow, which is happening a lot these days. So the answer is C. And yes, sir, if you we are not done yet. I'm just doing some, So if you feel like you are gaining anything out of my Hindu analysis videos, your knowledge is increasing with each passing day, like, share, subscribe, kill it. Everybody in this universe should know we are doing Hindu analysis every day at 10 a.m. at StudyIQ IS English. Let's talk about another technical article of the day, because nobody wants to read about them, IR, international relation, all these things, everybody is like very happy. But when these kind of article come, which is related to gene pool and all those stuff, people don't want to read. CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technology, UPSC has asked questions. Science and tech questions are the most tricky question. But this is not only about science and tech, which is like page 18, science 2. This whole article has like, relation with art and culture also. Sinhalese people, then relation with Buddhism also. So this is a very fascinating article. Maybe I will do a separate video on it. So Sinhalese people, these are the people who are living in Sri Lanka. Almost 75% of the people in Sri Lanka are Sinhalese people. 75. And they are mainly Buddhist people. And it is said that initially it was believed that Sinhalese people, they had North Indian origin. During the period of, 500 BC, 600 BC, people from North India, they went to Sri Lanka, settled there, became Sinhalese people. Now the theory has changed. Psychology is interesting, sir. I like science and tech. Now the theory has changed. Based on the recent genetic pool study which has happened, now the theory has emerged that Sinhalese people, and why it was initially believed that Sinhalese people, they migrated from North India and not South India, because they used to speak Singla language, which is very similar to Indo-European language spoken in North India, and not very similar to Dravidian language. Now the genetic pool study which has happened, it has confirmed and more or less confirmed that no, Sinhalese people has more to do with South Indian people than North Indian people. Sinhalese people, they migrated from South India and North India. The fact which we are talking about, the Singla language has more in common with Indo-European language, that may have happened because of some North Indian coming to South India and settling there and thereby propagating Indo-European languages to a certain extent. But that doesn't mean that Sinhalese people have more to do with North India. They have more to do with, like, their genetic pool has more to do with South Indian people. It's a very fascinating study. Let me tell you certain stuff, and then we'll solve some questions based on this article. So hope you understood some part of it. A recent study published in Current Biology analyzed whole genome sequences. 39. Again, from art and culture, what is important? Sinhalese people, where do they live? Because UPSC has asked questions on Rohingyas. They have asked questions on Madhesis. Where do these people predominantly live? So that's why this is important. 35 urban Sinhalese individual, 19 indigenous Adivasi. Now, there is another study which has happened here. So there are two major categories: Sinhalese people, Adivasi people in Sri Lanka. Adivasi people, it is believed they are older than the Sinhalese people. They are more or less from Sri Lanka only, and their genetic pool is not showing too much diversity. Why? Because they generally prefer endogamy. Endogamy means what? They are marrying within their own clan more rather than, let's say, Sinhalese or other people. That's why the genetic diversity is lesser. Singhali Bodh founded in Sri Lanka. Very good. Archa genetics. Shashmita and Rishi, you are on fire. Now let's focus here. So again, you can see the 35 Sri Lankan Tamils, blah, blah, blah. Genome project, I have told you the basic premise of this particular project. Sinhalese and Adivasi, they are genetically closest to each other and to South Indians. as like unlike the earlier belief that Sinhalese are closer to North Indians. The two Adivasi clans are genetically distinct from each other. They are saying that Sinhalese 75% of the population and Adivasi, they are different because Adivasis were there in Sri Lanka for a longer period than Sinhalese who have arrived from South India. Around Sangam age, tradition to earlier theories, traditional beliefs, Sinhalese migrated from northwest India. Initially, it was believed that Sinhalese had more in common with North Indian people, supported by their Indo-European language. Sinhala has more to do with the North Indian languages than with the Dravidian language. Now, all those theories have been discarded to a certain extent. New genetic evidence suggests Sinhalese have more similarity with South Indian Dravidian speaking population, not with North Indian groups. Do remember it. I think tomorrow morning 7 a.m. one video is coming in front of you on Sinhalese people. So language versus genes, linguistic genetic discrepancy. Why this whole thing? Sinhalese language, why does it look like European? Because as we have discussed, from North India, people can come to South India, marry among themselves. That is what they are saying. Their genes suggest South Indian ancestry. The language theory, why their language is very similar to Indo-European languages. Because language transfer by elite migrants. I am a North Indian. I went to South India. I went to Hyderabad. I liked a girl there. We married. So there is a mixing of gene pools. There is a transfer of Indo-European language. That is what they are saying. North Indian migrants mixing with local population. Singly both. Tamil migrants. Are you people understanding this article? Awesome article. Many people, like most of the Hindu analysis I have seen, they run away from science articles. I love those articles because I don't know why. I love stupid things. This is not stupid. This is actually very interesting. Timing of genetic formation. Sinhalese genetic pool formed around 3000 years ago. Do the CSAT from now. We are talking about 2100, like 21st century. If you go back and around 3000 years ago. So it is 700, 800 or 900 BC, but they're saying that migration happened around 500 BC. Sangam age, the basic official description of Sangam age is 300 BC to 300 CE. Many people say Sangam age started as early as 600 BC. UPSC loves Sangam age. They have asked a lot of questions on Sangam age. Vata Kirutal, Akkam song, love song, Puram song, war song, Lapkar, Warkar. Okay. So, Cholachera Pandyas. So, this coincided with large-scale genetic mixing. So, they are saying that this whole period, 500, 600 BC, when second urbanization was happening in North India, Sangam age was about to start or has already started. This was a revolutionary period when mixing were also was happening, and people from South India, they went to Sri Lanka, and later on they were called Sinhalese people. Oh my God. Earlier inhabitants, you can see all these things. Adivasi. So there are two major groups, Sinhalese and Adivasis. Adivasis were already there in Sri Lanka. Adivasis are descendant of ancient hunter-gatherers and are Sri Lanka's indigenous people. Just like you talk about, there is Australia. There was a Ashley Barty. Ashley Barty was a aborigine. They're called as aborigine if I'm not wrong. So they are the indigenous people. Adivasis are indigenous people. Sinhalese people are not. If I make this separate video, Sinhalese people will kill me in the comment section. So, I'm not getting your point, sir. The point is, Priya, Sinhalese population, which is 75% of Sri Lanka's population, they have came from South India. Earlier, the theories were like they have come from North India. That is the point actually. Every year, UPSC asks questions from Sangam age means as well as Kiladi excavation, new discovery in Sangam. We have already done Kiladi excavation. Kiladi. So, genetic similarities. Adivasi, Sinhalese and Sri Lankan Tamils are broadly similar genetically, but Adivasis have more ancient hunter-gatherer ancestry and lower genetic diversity. Please understand these words. You have more genetic diversity when, let's say, I will give you my family example, my sister. We are from Bihar. My sister has married a Bengali, so there are some gene differences, I guess. So now the kid they have is so awesome. I love him because he has both Bihari traits, Bengali traits, and so this is genetic diversity. North Indian people marrying South Indian people, genetic diversity. Adivasi people, they marry generally among themselves. They are very endogamous. They very rarely mingle with outside people. Andaman tribe, you remember? You go to a particular Andaman island and they will kill you there. So yes, so that explains why Adivasi people, even in Sri Lanka, they have lower genetic diversity. So hope you are understanding this. This is a technical article with so much art and culture associated to it. So it's very important and very interesting also. Endogamy, Adivasi community is highly endogamous marriage within the group. Even in our society, my mother used to say earlier that please, I'm a Brahmin, Mathil Brahmin, marry within Mathil Brahmin. Then she was like, marry a Brahmin. Now she's like, marry a girl. So slowly and gradually her, okay. So it leads to, because you feel like the kid has gone out of hand, So leads to long shared DNA segments. Again, you can read this thing. Smaller population size. Adivasi have historically maintained smaller population size than Sinhalese or Tamils. So the broader premise here is Sinhalese people, they are nothing but our South Indian brothers. Oh my God. Sri Lankan people will be like, how dare you? So yeah. First of its kind study in Sri Lanka. This is the first high resolution genome analysis of multiple Sri Lankan population, including indigenous groups, and we are very proud of it. Human migration. It shows human migration. The study shed lights on ancient human movement across India and Sri Lanka, and that also explained the influence of Buddhism. You know, Ashoka sent emissaries and missionaries to Sri Lanka. You can now correlate stuff. When all these things were happening, maybe lots of South Indian people, they went to Sri Lanka, settled there, now called as Sinhalese. Marriage still is becoming a worse dream now. Yeah. Now let's solve some question. Actually, sir, intercaste marriage creates a good combination of both cultures that can be taught to child. Exactly, Mamta. I agree with you. Again, you may find some questions tough today. Don't worry about it. It's totally fine. Let's say we solve multiple questions and you've got less questions correct. It's totally fine. The basic premise is you should know about certain things which you don't know about. So Shriparna, Chandru, Rishi, Madhvi, Shashmita, all of you have. The study found that Sinhalese have the highest genetic affinity, not with North Indian population, South Indian. So eliminate first, you got the answer B, 2 and 3 only, as stated by Shriparna, Chandru, Rishi, Madhvi, Shashmita, Mamta, Madhvi, again Malini, Priya, Parashar. So which of the following legal instrument first formally recognized gig workers in India? Very good. Anandu, LB. Where are you from in like Kerala, LB? I so want to go to, when I was in Hyderabad, people used to tell me to go to certain areas. I forgot the name. Kerala is so beautiful, just like a wow. Other places are also beautiful. Kerala is also beautiful. So Shashmita, Rishi, Anandu, Madhvi. So Code on Social Security 2020 is the first formally recognized gig workers in India. So the answer is C. Trishur, sir. Very good. Now, next article of the day. Page 14, monsoon session from July 21 to August 21. How does it concern us from UPSC perspective? Because we have to talk about different sessions. We have to talk about Article 85. Oh my God. That's how you remember different articles. Under Article 85, President summons these sessions. There cannot be, there can be maximum 6 months duration between sessions. So that means in a year at least 2 sessions has to happen, but in India 3 sessions happen, and we have to talk about these sessions, like Article 85. So there are other things which are important from exam perspective. This news is just an excuse for us to read about some other portion of polity. So monsoon session will be happening from July 21 to August 21. Awesome. Session has been extended. Earlier it was like it will go till 12. So when you talk about monsoon session, the basic period which is there in Lakshmikant is like July to September. But these people, our honorable MP sir, they have so much responsibility. They cannot come to Parliament that much. So generally this has become a trend that they meet from July to August. And earlier, now they will meet for 9 more days this time because there's lots of work and government is very serious about this session. So again, presidential approval has been given. No sitting 13th on 14th because you have Independence Day on 15th. You have Janmashtami on 16th. Okay, so platform. Again, this is just a factual information. We are more concerned with the static part of this question and the things which are important from exam perspective. Chandru, correct. Trishur. Oh my God. Is this study happened to establish that not only Tamil speaking Sri Lankan, but Sinhalese speaking are also from South India? Yes, Madhvi. So, budget session, February to May, 3 sessions generally happen. Minimum of 2 sessions has to happen in a year. So February to May. And again, you can see here budget, presentation of union budget. And this is the longest session. They can ask you which of the 3 sessions are the longest, generally the longest. Monsoon session, they take it easy here because they have done a lot of work. So discuss various legislative bills, again you can see here. And then they will have a winter session in November, December to take up legislative business, blah, blah, blah. As again, there are certain keywords here. President can summon special session. Special session can happen like when GST was launched, in midnight they were discussing it. That was so historic, just like a wow. GST, one nation, one tax. Article 85, they can even ask you, President can summon each house for this session under which particular article? Article 85. What can be the maximum gap between 2 sessions? 6 months. All these things are very important. So it's not necessary that Parliament meet for all these 3 sessions, winter, budget and on monsoon session. They can even meet for 2, but minimum of 2 has to happen. This is important. Oh my God. Okay. Now let's solve MCQ 10 of the day. Which article of Indian Constitution deals with summoning of Parliament by the President? Chepandis. As Shashmita stated, Article 85. Awesome. Shashmita, Amal, Albi, Shiparna, Anandu, Rishi, Anuj, Priya and Malini. Periodic labor force survey is conducted by we have discussed this. Chepandis, everyone. The answer is National Statistical Office under MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, PLFS. D. MCQ 12. Which of the following is not a category of employment classified under PLFS? Very good, Priya, Malini, Shashmita, Chandru, Mamta, Shriparna, Anuj, LB. Self-employed, gig worker, regular salaried, wage employers, casual labor. So what is the category which is not under PLFS? The answer is, we have talked about PLFS, we have talked about a group of people. The answer is gig worker. They are not classified under PLFS, and that's why we have read that whole article on, explainer page where they have talked about how this is an issue. Gig workers, platform workers, not properly categorized. They are kept under the category of self-employed or, casual laborers and others. So that is not good. PYQ 13. This is a PYQ asked by UPSC in 2014 related to BRICS. Chepandis. With reference to a grouping of countries known as BRICS, consider the following statement. First summit held in Rio de Janeiro. South Africa was the last to join the BRICS grouping. Do keep it in mind, it was asked in UPSC 2014. So based on that criteria, you have to remember. You may feel like, no, sir, now 10 countries are there. South Africa is not the last. In 2014, what was the criteria? So first summit, it was not held in Janeiro. It was held in Yekaterinburg, Russia. So first is wrong. Yekaterinburg. It sounds so fascinating. South Africa was indeed the last. So the answer is B, 2 only. Very good, you people. And yes, as this ma'am is saying, and she's one of my best friends, if not the best friend, you have to like, share and subscribe. You have to make it a movement. You have to make me popular. Every person on this earth should know me. That should be your goal, apart from clearing UPSC, CSE 26, 27, 28, whatever is your aim. And hopefully 26. I will share this particular PDF as I stated at the beginning in this Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh, along with the answer of all the questions I have given you. If you have not joined my family, join it at the earliest. You can post your score. I know you won't, but this is my duty to tell you to post a score, and it is your duty to not post a score. Okay, sir. Also, sir, if you are preparing for 2026 diligently means seriously, facing any issues in your preparation of any particular kind, please, you can join this 2026 batch. Batch is starting on 7th July. Today is 3rd July. Yeah, today is 3rd July. If you want to join it, if you want to streamline your preparation, I would urge you to join before 7th only. Start from the orientation session, so everything is streamlined. Orientation sessions are very underrated. Cool, sir. 2026, you can use my code SHS Live to get maximum discount. Many of you who have already watched my sessions, you know what is the process. If you don't, let me reiterate it like a parrot, because I do that. I love it. So we will go to StudyIQ.com. If you like, there is another option. You can go to Play Store. You can download StudyIQ app for free, and there also you can join the course. And here StudyIQ.com, you will go to all languages. You will go to English. We are talking about 2026 batch. Where is 26 batch? This is 2026 batch. You will go to buy now, and first of all, you will see the features. These are the features. If these features align with your interest, go ahead with the buy now thing. Very good. We have discussed the features: mentorship, test series, study material, everything is included. The course is valid. You can see your best value, this and that. Oh my god, this is the best value course. This is a new edition. Oh my god, look at this number, 16,999. So less, just like a wow. So let me apply the promo code now. I also want to see it. So if you apply the promo code, that is SHS Live. Oh god, see 39, this is fine. And if you apply the promo code, this particular gold, which is valid for 1 year, 6 months, reduces to 9,999. Awesome, sir and ma'am. In 9,999, you're getting, the price difference are actually very high. So again, if you feel like you want to join, this is actually a good thing. If you have, already started your preparation, this is a new edition for people who have watched my yesterday video. This was not there. So this is a new edition, and do look into it if it aligns, because this is actually a very, very high discount. So again, this thing, if you feel like you have certain lasuna, certain deficit in your preparation, join it, yeah. Join it at the earliest. 9,999 is nothing. Cool. Any query, any doubt if you have, there is another number which is there, which you can see here. This number, 9240231070. You can call on this number. You can use my code. You can tell them about me, whatever you want to do. It's totally up to you. It's your life. You have to decide what you have to do in life. I'm just there to guide you. ठीक है? So we have crossed the 1 hour limit, man. The aim was to do it within 1 hour. I will try my best. Chepandi means tell me. Okay, so thank you everyone. I will see you people tomorrow. Take care, be blessed. Tata, bye bye.